Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Thoughtful Thursdays. Each day this week has been the first episode in a very long cycle where I will continue, hopefully every week, continuing the series. Today is the first episode of Thoughtful Thursdays. If you have been around for a long time and you remember what my old videos were like, and by old videos I mean literally last week, where I just sit here and talk to the camera, this is kind of the day where that happens. Every other day has a special thing where I go, work out, do a special activity to get better at something, but today I just come here and talk about stuff that I have thought about through the week and noted it down. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was basically, I find it kind of crazy how vastly different people's mindsets are. And I'm not even talking about the level of dedication, but I'm more talking about ambition, stuff like that. Because you'll hear about entrepreneurs who will do anything to be the number one company in the world, and they'll struggle through years of losses to finally get gains. And then on the complete other side of the spectrum, you'll get people who are perfectly happy with a low-paying 9-to-5 and just want to have a peaceful, easy few years, well, a lot of years, not just a few, with their family and stuff. And by no means am I throwing shade on either side of the spectrum, and by no means do I look down or on anyone, but I just find it absolutely crazy that when I walk past some people, I'll be completely engrossed in thinking about the channel, because a lot of the time what I think about outside of just filming is what can I do, what ideas can I come up with for the channel, and just creative ideas in general, not necessarily to do with YouTube. And I'll be thinking about stuff like that, and then I'll look at some people and just think, damn, we're so vastly different in what we're doing, but I still have so much respect for everyone. And it's just crazy, because it's not like some people aren't, it's not like I'm working harder than others by any means. I'm just obsessed with a different thing. I'm sure if you take anyone, you can find something that they're just absolutely obsessed with, even if it's not on the same level, or people wouldn't consider it on the same level. But I think, honestly, being obsessed, obviously, that there's two different types of obsession. There's obsessing over an activity, a thing that you like to do, and then there's obsessing over a person. That's two different things. But when I'm talking about obsession, I mean a hobby, but it's slightly more than that. And some people like to look down on others and say, well, oh, my hobby. For example, someone who likes to, make things, someone who's quite crafty, they might look down on someone whose hobby is gaming. And I think there's just no reason for that, because at the end of the day, you're both putting in work to have fun and you're both just passing time. Sure, maybe the crafty person might be benefiting their future in the sense that if they want to become an engineer or something. But at the end of the day, you're both just having fun and passing the time. So I don't really see the issue. Another thing I've been thinking about is it's actually kind of a crazy revelation, because I mean, I guess I've kind of always known this, but I sort of came to this conclusion through my own experiences, and I've been thinking it's kind of weird. So I absolutely despise revising and just doing work, schoolwork basically, unless it's like practical stuff. And I've been confused because I enjoy the stuff. Like, I enjoy computing, but when it comes to just revising, I just cannot be bothered. I still force myself to do it because it's something I have to do, but I just really hate it. And I've been wondering why. Because pretty much anything I do that requires me to practice it, I really enjoy it. I don't know what it is. Getting good at something is just really fun, no matter what it is. Like, for example, I'm not really a car guy or anything. I mean, I watch F1, but I'm not super into driving or anything. But when I practice driving, it's so fun just to get better. And when I think about literally anything that I could practice and get better at, it just seems so cool and so fun. Like, whenever I think, oh, I really want to start trying to get good at that, whatever it may be, I get super excited and motivated. That's something that really gets me going. But when it comes to getting good at being knowledgeable, I just cannot be bothered. Maybe it's something to do with just being forced to just read something and then make notes instead of doing a physical thing. But I'm a pretty nerdy guy, right? So whenever I am practicing something, I love getting good at it, but I also love doing the external research outside. So I find it really enjoyable to get all like the nerdy stats and stuff. Like, for example, driving, and then you watch videos on how to get better at driving. That's still fun. It doesn't like defeat the fun. And I was wondering like why doing the research is still fun. For example, when I used to play a bit more games, doing the research outside as well as just playing the game they're both, I mean, okay, playing the game is more fun, but the research is still fun. And I always wondered why. And then 2 days ago, I realized that you can't have one without the other. The knowledge is only fun when you get to apply it. And the knowledge on its own is boring and useless. But when you're in the state of mind where you've already had a bit of practice at applying stuff, and then you gain the knowledge, that's when it gets fun. So, in theory, you can make anything fun just by first doing the practical stuff and then doing the theory, and obviously mixing it up a bit. So if you can find a way to do some practical level stuff, it doesn't even have to be a physical thing, like even just simulations and stuff like that, that can make what you're learning seem so much more interesting. For example, yesterday's exam was on software engineering, which to those who don't know probably sounds just like, oh, it's coding, you like make software. But it's actually nothing to do with the actual coding. It's more the theory behind what makes a good workflow and stuff like that. and I was finding that really, really boring. Don't get me wrong, my lecturer is really cool and he was fun, and he made it at least a little bit interesting. But then when I was revising on my own, I was so bored. So I figured out that if I could find some kind of way to make a simulation, it would make it more fun. I didn't have the time because I only figured this out 2 days ago and my exam was yesterday. But for example, for stuff like software engineering, you could theoretically make a simulator that gives you access to moving icons on a screen, right? And those icons are your workers. Say you're the leading team manager in a team, and you've got these icons who are your workers. You can move them about, tell them what they need to do, make them do certain things. So I guess the idea would be, if you can gamify it, you should. I'm trademarking that as Alex's first law of having fun. Newton may have his laws, but my laws are more important. Anyway, yeah, so if you can gamify it, you should. And if there's a way of doing it, I think it's possible for most things, to be honest. I'm struggling to come up with an example where you can't gamify the theory. So basically what I'm saying is that my plan is foolproof. I have a few more thoughts, but I think I'm gonna leave that for next week because we're running out of time. So thanks for watching. I'll do a quick wrap up in my room where I read the comment that we got today. I remember roughly what it was, but I just want to make sure I fully respond to it. Alright, see you later. This is actually my second time filming this, so yeah, I don't know, the first time the mic was doing some weird stuff. Alright, just wanted to say a few things before finishing the video. So yesterday's video did pretty well, although not as good as my dream would have said. For whatever reason, I had a dream about getting 10 million subs and 10 million views in overnight on yesterday's video, but I'm not disappointed. So yeah, thank you for all the support so far. We got one comment yesterday, and it is from the guy from I don't know if it's a guy, the person from yesterday, and they said, so were you able to walk to the exam after hitting the gym? To that I say, yes I was. I think my legs were still warm, so they didn't have a chance to start feeling the pain, even after sitting down for 2 hours in the exam hall. Didn't sit down much for the rest of the day, and I went to an Indian restaurant in the evening, and it was only after then, at which point it started hurting. I don't know why, but yeah, walking home was not fun. Then I woke up this morning and my entire body was aching. So yeah, and my grip felt very weak. So it wasn't the most interesting wake up of my life, but oh well. The rest of the comment says, thanks for the motivation and for waking up so early just to keep posting and not disappointing us. You're the GOAT. Or you're a GOAT. Thank you very much. Just this comment alone is enough to make me not regret waking up at 6 AM at all. So if I need to wake up at 6 AM at all ever again, I will gladly do so. And I also will happily wake up at any time for my fans, so I don't mind. And I'm happy that you think I'm a GOAT, so I say this time and time again, but it's genuinely so motivating, and just it makes me so happy whenever I see the comments. Alright, that's all I've got for today. I'll see you tomorrow.